I was a good soldier. I had purpose, and I loved it.
For a brief period of time, for 1,000 days, Adam Schumann was in war. And for the rest of his life, he, Saskia, all of the people involved in the orbit of Adam Schumann are involved in the afterwar.
These are young guys, and they're dealing with death in a very real way. They're afraid, they're terrified, they're excited, they're all these things to be able to do their job well. And then when they come back, how do they deal with it?
They're signing up for 2 wars. You're signing up for wherever you're going, and then you're signing up for when you come home.
It doesn't just affect them, it touches the lives of their families, their wives, their children.
Once you get home and the parades are over and the yellow ribbons fade, there's still a war going on in these individuals' minds and inside these homes.
These guys fighting for their lives every day. These veterans are struggling to find their way back to themselves.
They're not heroes. They're not heroes. They are human beings who were put in extraordinary circumstances and now in the afterwar continue to find themselves in the extraordinary circumstance of trying to heal.
David Finkel did such a fantastic job with the book. For us, the challenge was to create this war back home that's going on in their heads and in their hearts.
I just wanted to say thank you for looking after my son over there.
When we talk about an invisible wound, we're talking about trauma. I think trauma records itself differently on the brain than a normal memory. And that's what invisible wounds are. They're the wounds of trauma, the wounds of war.
What? What the fuck are you doing out there?
I wasn't out there.
So many times Adam would say, if I had lost a leg, this would be a lot easier. If I had lost an arm, this would be a lot easier. At least I would have been injured and I can see it.
I know a lot of guys that they have all their limbs, and their mental injuries are horrible. They're more damaging than my limbs being gone right now can be. I'll go in public with friends, and I'll be thankful for my service all the time, and they just get ignored because nobody knows what the injuries they are dealing with, and I think it makes it worse on them because theirs isn't seen.
It's not a broken leg. It's not a sore tooth. It's not a pulled muscle. It's your mind, and a broken mind is a terrible thing.
You were so fucked up. Why didn't you say anything?
The thing that prevented me from wanting to seek treatment or anything was the fact that I didn't know. I didn't realize that I had an issue. I didn't realize I had a problem. It took several people to really just tell me, like, something's wrong. They're not the same.
Yeah, there's no debriefing. It's more physical. And if there's a physical problem, you know where to go. But if you have mental issues, and like you said, sometimes you don't know because you don't know that you get agitated in large crowds. You just think that you're tired, or there's all these different symptoms that you just think don't have anything to do with what you experience.
There's so many hurdles to getting help successfully, starting with the soldier himself. If he's having a hard time accepting that something's wrong with him, he is waiting for the first moment for verification that he's kind of the uninjured weakling he might think himself to be.
Shoo, you were my hammer out there. Don't let these young guys see you fold like this.
There's a stigma around mental illness. Not only are guys coming home completely physically messed up, but went through some traumatic shit, whether it's blunt force trauma or mental trauma. There's damage that's done, and you can't fake that.
When I told them that I realized that I needed to talk to somebody, it took a little while before they would see me. So having the courage to say, okay, I need to see somebody, I didn't get to see somebody the next day.
If you go to a VA, if it's a busy one, and you check in and there's a wait, that can be a slap in the face. It doesn't matter that the VA might be trying as hard as it can.
We're backed up. It could be 6 to 9 months.
Bullshit. My boy here fought his ass off.
Yeah.
All right? He did his job. Now do yours.
If you go in for help, the window is so small to open yourself up to say, I need help. And then if anything comes along to shut the window, the consequences can be disastrous.
We have 22 veterans a day killing themselves.
How long you been up?
It's already 4 p.m. in Baghdad.
We're showing what it's like. The guy comes home, and what's that first lunch like with your wife that you haven't seen in a year? Really trying to capture your moments of humility and to understand how difficult it is for these guys when they make the transition.
I made a smiley face out of chocolate chips for you.
I hate chocolate.
You do?
She doesn't like chocolate.
Okay. I guess I missed that part.
They've come back from the war. Life has changed. Their families have moved on. They've changed.
It does affect the families too. Wives, kids. They know, either the husband or daddy's they're not there. And I think that also gets to the serviceman himself as well, because he knows that his family notices.
I felt like no matter what I was doing, I was letting down my family. I was failing as a father and a husband and a provider for my family. I was really stuck between my own insanity and doing what was right and getting myself better so I could come back and take care of those responsibilities.
There's a tremendous struggle to not only acknowledge that they may need help, but then to find that help. And I think the after war is not only what's going on inside of their heads, but it's an entire process that they have to go through to establish an injury and what these symptoms are that they're suffering from.
Those 7 months of my life of just extensive therapy and dealing with it, but also dealing it with brothers in arms in a group setting, and all of us talking about our experiences, you all find a common thread. You realize that you're not alone.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful I'm alive.
There's hope in rehab. There's hope that what I have to live with every day is going to get better. I'm going to learn how to walk better. I'm going to have a better form of life.
You'll get the feeling that everything's going to be okay, that there is a light at the end of that tunnel, that there is hope. I'm very hopeful for the future.
Every day, Adam is still living his life and still trying to fight through it, because these guys come back with a lot of demons, and the spirit of overcoming.
For other veterans that are afraid to speak up or speak out, seek help, it'll be a calling.
For me, some of these soldiers are our best and our brightest. There's no reason that this can't be the next great generation. Many of these men that we're bringing back are leaders, and they're motivated. And it's up to us to find a way to plug them in. I found tremendous hope in their struggle and their ability to conquer the obstacles that were placed before them.
The story's worth telling. It's worth people hearing. And I want all the veterans to be able to take a little bit of ownership, like, yeah, I was there and I did that. This will be our movie, my generation's movie, so that when someone asks you what it was like, you can be like, just watch, thank you for your service, man.